Stock markets are busier than ever.
Cloud technologies, work from home. Beyond Meat, Disney is skipping Activision Blizzard. It spiked 19% yesterday.
Wow.
Corona hasn't stopped Corona, actually.
Life as we know it may have slowed down, but stock markets are busier than ever. This week saw the release of quarter-one results for many corporates, some of which were more surprising than others. We also saw new products come onto the market which are looking to make the most of the COVID-19 pandemic. This morning, I spoke to our expert, Ainars Velicevskis, who gave me his views and analysis, as well as predictions for the week ahead.
Good morning, Ainars. I hope you're well. Thank you very much for joining me again today.
Good morning, Simona. It's a pleasure.
Excellent. I hear that there's lots going on in markets at the moment, lots of new product launches and exciting things happening. Can you please tell me a bit more?
Sensing an opportunity in the market, many providers are developing new thematic indexes. For example, a selective remote work index that tracks a portfolio of companies that provide products that focus specifically on working from home. Cloud technologies, online projects, remote communication, etc. Then OM COVID-19 stock index that tracks companies that develop therapies, vaccines, and diagnosis. And EQM Global Pandemic Disruption Index that tracks the companies that are most disrupted by the global pandemic. And there is an interesting product out there. It's a Direxin Work from Home ETF, which will be launched somewhere later this year, and will have a ticker of WFH US. So these thematic funds are going to be popping up like mushrooms.
That's amazing. So not only are we having to learn a new way to live, but we're going to be able to benefit from it. But obviously, those are the benefits. What about the companies that are suffering? I see that obviously a lot of companies are releasing their results at the moment, and some are maybe doing worse than we predicted. Can you give me a bit of a rundown of those?
Yeah, there are many companies that are releasing quite shocking reports. For example, Disney is skipping dividend payment after earnings have missed really badly for the fiscal second quarter. Their earnings per share have tumbled actually even 63%, and they are losing for the theme parks 1 billion per quarter. Of course, they're going to be opening quite soon in Shanghai, but it's not going to be a successful story for them yet. Of course, Ford released a per share loss of 23 cents. Airlines don't want to even say the numbers. Warren Buffett unloaded them from his portfolio. But then there are a couple of good signs. For example, Activision Blizzard, the gaming company, reported 21% growth. Beyond Meat, sales are up 10%, with their margins going from 30 to 38%. And it actually is quite interesting as this brings people's habits to change and use new products. Beyond Meat has jumped in share price just through the last month for 49%. The big meat producers, Tyson Smithfield and others, were already investing in plant-based alternatives before the pandemic. And currently they are seeing the situation where their factories are closed for processing, and even though as they want to open them up, the employees are saying they will be quitting in masses if they open. So this is a really interesting opportunity. Also, quite interesting company, Plantable. They invested in December into developing a new protein made from duckweed. It's a small aquatic plant that is about 45 to 50% protein, and it regenerates its biomass every 48 hours.
Wow, that's amazing. So in a way, we're seeing all these new products, and the world is changing as we know it. But unfortunately for Disney, it's not going to be the fairy tale that they're used to. But what about future trends? What do you think we should be looking at, maybe even post-COVID or during this COVID to make the most of the situation?
All right, then there are two things that I will speak about. First, one is regarding the trends that we will see after the recession. Each recession brings changes to people's habits. For example, previously, people have moved on from malls to shopping online, and there are many things that will be becoming a common thing now. Working remotely will make office business less attractive. Also, there will be a slight decrease initially, and later on a quite substantial decrease in meat consumption. Also, restaurant business will need many years to get back to the levels they experienced previously. We will lose some airlines, especially low cost, that work on the tightest margins. There will be less air travel and international travel. And then there is an interesting short and medium term investment possibility perception. For example, companies such as Novavax, the company that's developing vaccine and has positioned itself in the forefront run against the COVID-19, their share price has just within year to date jumped up 345%.
Wow.
Then we can look at Boeing, who will have a drop of more than 50% in their service business. But we're seeing Wall Street anticipating about a 37% growth till the end of 12-month period. Then there's Gilead Sciences that's also working on the vaccine. Facebook, which saw an increase of 11% usage rate, and they have a possibility to grow even to 15% within the next 12 months. And also there is a quite interesting case. We've seen air industry tumbling down, but there is a company, AirCap Holdings, that spiked 19% yesterday in the markets after the news that they had better than proposed or expected earnings. And we could even see a further growth because they tumbled down of 50%. Right now they spiked 19, and we could see even 10 to 15% more for them.
Obviously, those results are positive at the moment, but that is for the first quarter. And whilst COVID-19 has obviously been around since the end of last year, do you think that some of these results are maybe not reflecting the full impact of COVID, and that maybe we might see something different in their next quarter?
Of course, we will see many changes in the next quarter. Everybody is expecting currently the first openings for the countries. Even some countries in Europe are planning to open their airports. That will bring more clarity of what's going to be happening in the second half of the year. First of all, the biggest question is air industry, how it will survive. And then there is the race against COVID-19 for the pharmaceutical companies.
Sure. And I guess my final question is, Coronabeer has obviously got a bad name because of the coronavirus, but have we seen sales go down for Corona? Have people stopped drinking it because they're worried?
Corona hasn't stopped Corona, actually. We had a show actually that the brand is up 20% since the beginning of the year. This is a super strong performance, and I have to give them credit. This is a really bad PR that worked so good.
Well, I guess it just proves that there's no such thing as bad news. Any PR is PR, so good for them. But thank you so much, Ainars. It's been lovely speaking to you again, and thank you very much for your insights.
It was a pleasure, Simona. Have a lovely day.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed today's video. As you can tell, markets are moving quickly, so we'll be back soon with some more expert analysis for you.